very pleasant good afternoon. Welcome to the Fitness and Recreation Center on the campus of Purdue Northwest. Here at John Friend Court alongside Hall of Fame basketball coach Gary Hayes. I'm Sam Michael. As the Pride return home today after a tough conference kickoff to their road schedule, at least. We had a couple home before that. And B&W looking, coach, for a non-conference road win. They'll have a couple of these games before the conference road season starts again back in the new year. And Illinois Springfield, though, isn't one of those get-right games. This is a tough team.
Yeah, I'm looking at their stats here. You know, we're 47% from the field, but 40% from three, and they've got almost 5 guys in double figures, real close, 9-9, 8-9, 10-6, 12, and 10.7. And they're a very balanced team. I think they're 8-2 on the season, 3-0 in conference play. So this is going to be a challenge for the Pride today. Coach
Matt Brock in his 4th season, a couple of tough ones to start it for him, and then they've really gotten things going here recently. This year, as you said, 8 wins in 10 games so far, and they do it in kind of, I guess, an old school way where it went out of the old school way was the jump shot in the post game, the long twos before the 3-point line, right? But then in the early 2000s, seems like a lot of great college teams beat you with a 3. It's almost kind of gone away a bit to where it's not the natural shooting. You know, guys take you off the dribble, but this is a team that's got some guys that will set it, knock down shooters.
Yeah, and obviously we're going to see some pretty good passing today for them to get those squared up shots. And like you were saying, we were watching a college game today. I was watching Kansas. Obviously, you're an IU guy, and I was just so impressed with their secondary break. And really, their secondary break was better than their half-court offense. So that's the college game, but this is going to be a very fundamental. I'm interested in seeing Brevin Jefferson today, though. I've always liked him early in the season, and now he's getting a chance to start today.
Brevin Jefferson, as Coach just mentioned, starting. He's in place of Jalen Gentry today. Michel Cooper starting at the lead guard spots. Anthony Barnard, Anthony Irvin, and Alou Dillon are the 5 P&W starters for Boomer Roberts in his 5th season. This is a 6-5 P&W team who has dropped now 2 in a row. A couple of tough losses over the weekend to Wayne State and Saginaw Valley State. They were competitive against Wayne, losing by, I believe, a 7-point mark, if I remember correctly, but the Saginaw Valley game got away late. It was not particularly close, and I know after a week off of 6 days, they played a weird Friday, Sunday because of some academic reasons as far as finals were concerned last week, but pretty much a week off to get your team right. As a coach, what would you have used the last 5 days to do?
Oh, well, you always go back to your weaknesses, but just to get the intensity level up, you can never stop working on your defense. I don't care what time of year it is, and then if you've got guys that you need to make that extra pass or you need a guy to get more involved in your offense, that's the time to get it done when you've got those off days to get ready to play.
For Illinois Springfield, we mentioned how well they shoot it. They've got a couple of guys who shoot in the mid-40 percentile. One of them is a starter. That's Michael Wright, the senior guard. He averages right at 10 points per game, shoots over 50 from the floor. He is a knockdown shooter at 47%. He's joined by the sophomore Jordan Rice, sophomore Jacob Hanna. Also at the sophomore spot is one of the forwards, Jack Weber. Rounding it out, another senior, Keith Johnson. They play a 4-guard lineup. Weber, the tallest player, at 6'6". He will toss it up with Dillon. And Alou wins it to start the basketball game here for P&W as Jefferson hands off to Michel Cooper. Jefferson with the basketball left side. Barnard sets the screen. Wanted to get a screen and roll. They've got the mismatch inside, but he threw it over the top. As Jordan Rice had gotten switched off to Barnard. He's only 5'9", as we said, but the turnover on the first possession.
Yeah, Jefferson should have dragged that ball down to his left more. That's a hard angle to pass in a post, straight line.
P&W trying to extend the defense a bit, at least made the catch tough, and now it's Rice. One-on-one against Barnard as he walks it across. P&W, when they've been good under Boomer Roberts, the defense has led, as you just said. They need their defense to give them some easy buckets. This is a pretty easy one. As Weber fakes the handoff, goes down the left side of the lane for the first points of this afternoon.
And I watched their warm-up, and they ran spread warm-up drills. So right away they came out 4 out, 1 slip into the rim.
That'll be a tough guard for Alou Dillon today, as he will match Weber, who you can tell pretty quick to the rim for a big guy. He's the only forward, as we said. Irvin will line up a 3 on the handoff. Shorts, and skying in for the rebound is Jacob Hanna. Rice quickly off here. This is a baseline J. A little floater goes down for Keith Johnson. It's 4-0 early.
Too easy on that possession there. You gotta turn that guy toward, get him underneath the backboard.
So 2 easy buckets for Illinois Springfield. The Prairie Stars, 8 wins in 10 games this year. Cooper guarded tightly. Goes under the rim on the baseline and a late whistle. As Jacob Hanna, the guilty party. Matt Brock in disagreement, but Michel Cooper heading to the free throw line. And so often we've seen P&W when the offense is slow to start games, which unfortunately it has been in a number of contests, that this guy right here at the line, Michel Cooper, has been the guy so often tasked with getting things going, often having to make tough shots.
Yeah, we've seen him do that a lot this year, where he'll come out and hit the first couple threes and get the pride going. But right now, these first 2 possessions did not look good for what the Pride were trying to do.
Cooper hits both the free throws, and you say that he was probably fortunate to be at the line. He drove himself into a tough spot, fortunate to get the foul call. They get it across into the middle. Hanna drives, wanted to make the pass. It was covered up well, though, by Jefferson. Goes out of bounds for the turnover.
Yeah, Jefferson didn't go to the short corner deep enough. There was no angle to get him the ball.
So both teams have turned it over once, trying to do similar things, which is throw it down to a guy right under the bucket, and just haven't had the angle to do so. Interested to see how Jefferson does in this starting role. Cooper left. He was cut off by Weber. Now went to fade over Hanna. He blocked the shot, and then a loose ball foul coming up on Lou Dillon.
And I always like it when Dillon gets touches early, and so far he hasn't had a touch yet, and he gets a foul there. So
he's out of the game. Obi Ezekwesili is in for him instead as Lou heads to the bench. Boomer Roberts trying to make sure he doesn't pick up a couple early fouls after that one whistled. Bounce it off to Weber here. Backdoor cut and a beauty. Johnson almost had a chance for 3. Irvin the foul. And Keith Johnson to the free throw line.
That was a great pass from Jack Weber there on the backdoor cut. You're going to see a lot of 4 out, and you're going to have one guy at the high post, and he's going to be a slip guy or he's going to be a secondary guy, just like Weber played that position that time.
Johnson on the season, 11 of 17 from the charity stripe as he rolls in his first of 2 attempts. He's got 3 early points. That's his first free throw. Had a little floater on the baseline if you're just joining us. A couple minutes gone by. Illinois Springfield holding a 5-2 lead as Johnson misses the seconds. Jefferson with the basketball. Works against Jordan Rice. Now on top for Barnard. They're trying to get it to Ezekwesili. Irvin didn't have the angle. Cooper to the middle. Wanted to drive it. He was cut off. Here's Jefferson. Slides it to the baseline. Now out for Barnard with 10 to shoot. Throws it into Ezekwesili. Squares. Had it knocked out of his hands nicely by Weber. Kept it going. Forced it up. Blocked out of bounds. In fact, they won't even say it was blocked. It was just off Ezekwesili. That's another turnover.
Yeah, he got himself on a bat. I wish he'd have went up with that ball right away. Strong. He ended up working too many fakes on that shot right there.
Yeah, sometimes you can almost fake yourself to where you can't explode off the ground.
Exactly. You can't get that low to high move.
It's Rice.
Look at the floor, how spread it is. Boy, the Pride's weak side defense is going to be so critical in this game today.
Johnson ran into Weber. He wasn't really trying to set a screen, and the shot from Johnson rolls off the rim there. Irvin, I should say, ran into Weber. P&W has the basketball. Here's Cooper. Stops, turns around, missed the shot from in tight, and it's tipped into the hands of Keith Johnson. P&W has not made a field goal yet, as 3 minutes have gone by. Right, he'll try his first 3, and that is good. 47% shooter, and that was like a layup.
You have to get a hand up on him and make him put the ball on the floor. Look at his stats as from the outside shooting.
2-man game. Nice bounce by Cooper. Ezekwesili fouled going to the rim. He'll shoot a pair.
If there is a glaring weakness with Springfield, it's their free throw shooting, because I see we have 9 for 19 and Weber 8 for 17, 66% as a team. So if there is a weakness, it could be the free throws, which could be critical late in the game.
And I'm guessing part of that is they don't seem to take a ton of free throws. I think they're a jump shot shooting team. When you shoot it this well from 3, I would be too. And you've talked about their offense. It's not even 4 out, 1 in. It's really 5 outs.
It's really 5 out because the guy on the rim comes all the way out to the top of the key. So you're going to see a lot of wide. That's why I said your weak side defense is critical against that kind of offense.
As Questley 1 of 2 at the line. And the lead is 5 for Springfield, 8-3 with 16:20 to go in this first half. Jordan Rice gets the screen from Weber. He's got the switch off inside. They throw it to him. Barnard guarding Weber on the back down.
He definitely loves to go left for that hand.
Gets there and scores.
He was doing that in the warm-ups, catching on the right side, going left every time with that little baby hook right in front of the rim.
Took it right at AB and got the buckets. 10-3 score. Into Ezekwesili. Squares up on Weber. Pulls the trigger and knocks it down. Ezekwesili's got 3 of P&W's 5. The other 2 from Michel Cooper.
And Obi's critical to get him involved in this offense like he was earlier in the year.
Jefferson getting a bit handsy on the dribble. Handoff is whistled for the personal foul. That will take us to our first media timeout. 10-5 Illinois Springfield with 15:40 to play in the first half.
There's a lot at stake in the manufacturing process. Rightly so. Your business serves a vital and important part within your industry segment.
I welcome you to take a closer look at Hammond Machine Works and consider us for your next project.
Laborers Local 41, together with Indiana Laborers Training Center and our signatory employers, provide state-of-the-art instruction in all areas of the construction industry, from hazardous material handling and environmental remediation to road construction and highway safety. Remember to slow down in construction zones and that the Local 41 members working there are mothers, fathers, coaches, and mentors. Laborers Local 41. We build Indiana in more ways than one.
First segment gone by here at the Fitness and Rec Center. P&W trailing 10-5, and so far, you know, basketball is easy as far as what you expect to see, but it's always the idea, can your plan stop my plan?
Yeah, exactly.
And then Illinois Springfield's plan is we're going to shoot some jump shots, right?
I don't see anything except backdoor cuts, jump shots, and then Weber once in a while posting up in front of the rim, and that's basically going to be it.
They're good at it, though.
They're very good at it, and that weak side, I'm going to say it again, when you play against spread teams, your weak side defense is the key. Because if you get tight on your man, they're going to get the middle.
This is a team that averages 80 points per game, and they've already played 4 conference games, so it's not that they just did it against a bunch of weaker non-conference opponents. They've done it against some of the GLVC's best.
Yeah, Jordan Rice is a very solid point guard, very fundamental with the ball.
He handles it well. Only a sophomore, too. Sometimes you get worried about these underclassmen. Quick trigger from Johnson, hoisting. And Ezekwesili, a good rebound. That's a pretty good close out there from Cooper. Barnard was wide open under the rim. Nobody saw him. P&W setting up their half court here. Brevin Jefferson with the basketball. Dribbles over to his right, wanted to get Cooper on the back cut, not there. 12 to shoot, not much going on this possession.
Nope, they're getting stuck on that right side. They got to get that ball swinging.
Off to Irvin, 5 to shoot. Baseline, great
Nice
look, late
pass.
shot clock. And it's a dunk for Obi Ezekwesili.
Ezekwesili definitely was a factor early in the year, Sam, when we watched them, and we were talking about that in the pregame about him getting started and being the difference.
Dunk from Ezekwesili brought to you by Wintrust. Hope for a few more of those. Obi, some of his best minutes we've seen in a while. Johnson again, Cooper right in his grill, and he knocks it down. Keith Johnson, he's one of the lesser three-point shooters, only 33, but he looks confident.
Solid footwork there. Had his lead foot, got his feet under him, knocked the big shot down.
Barnard with it out high, now it's Cooper. Dribbles to his right, working against Cooner, elevating over him. Hits, that's a tough one. And they're going to call Cooper as he went to the floor for a flopping violation and a technical. Cooper hits the shot to make it 13-9. But we're going to see a one-shot technical here, and they'll ask Max Kunert, who is 10 of 10. Here's another look at the play. Cooper fading. Yeah, I agree. Kicked the leg out. He got called for the tee. Kunert makes his one-shot technical foul. And so now we go back to the point of interruption. It would have been Springfield ball anyways.
And let's face it, that was getting out of control in the game of basketball. And I know you being an official, and it's at the higher the level, the more you see it, you know.
Yes.
And they had to clean it up, and I agree with that.
So the free throw pumps it back out to a 5-point game, 14-9. Steinman in for Jefferson. Here's Johnson again. Another three, no. Rebound tipped all around. Cooper hustling to the sideline, saves it nicely to AB. Now he gets it back on the cross dribble. Quick three for Cooper's good. Michel starting to get going.
Boy, when he gets in rhythm, he's tough to stop. He's got that little juke, and then he'll fade back on you, and he's left-handed. If you forget he's left-handed, you're going to have your hand up in front of the wrong hand.
First three for PNW brought to you by Strachan Van Til. Rice is fouled. It looked like he might have walked first, as he went for that old-school scoop-style fake on Ezra Quesley. The officials say the only reason it looked like he might have been walking is because he was fouled. And that's Obi's first. Get another look here. Did he keep the pivot long enough? It was close.
Pretty close.
That's already 5 fouls on PNW as a team. They've only got 1 to give, and we've still got 13 and a half to go in this opening half of play. Songale Njai in for the first time today. Alou Dillon back. Jefferson, Cooper, and Steinman, the 3 guards out there. Haven't seen Jalen Gentry yet. Officials having a discussion about something, maybe the shot clock. Either way, straightened out now. Baseline inbound here. Hannah looking, gets it into Kunert. Pretty good look from the corner, but he airballed it with Dillon right near him.
Yeah, pretty good defense by the Pride there, switching off that box out of bounds play.
Njai dribbles over, gets it to Dillon. He's double teamed. Had Njai wide open underneath. Tried to skip it to the corner. Last touched out of bounds by Springfield. That's DeAndre Campbell.
So hard to throw that lateral skip that the wing needs to come up and get contact with Dillon so he can make a diagonal skip. Now you can find the guy. It's hard to see him when he is totally parallel with you.
And they had Njai just, yeah, that's right. It is hard to see him because there's guys around here too.
Correct, yeah.
If he would have dribbled over, he could have had a little bounce slip there. Would have been a dunk if Songale got the ball. He was so open. PNW 18 to shoot here as they clean off some condensation, courtesy of Mr. Campbell, who went down on the play. He's all right, though. Sideline inbound here for Jefferson. Njai with the basketball. Dribbles over to the right. On top for Dillon. Works from the free throw line. Drives right of the lane and scores it over Michael Wrights.
Finally got him started. I didn't get too many touches, and he always starts out looking inside. I'm sure we'll see him to come outside a little bit off high ball screens also.
Here's Campbell. Campbell works on Njai. Got a bump. That's a great call. Offensive foul. That was Weber in the lane, who was trying to steal his man at the same time, then bumped off Njai for the moving screen. Would have been an easy bucket for Campbell, but you can see why. And even had a little shoulder there.
Yeah, that's a point of emphasis, too, now on these high ball screens, that everybody's running that in their offense, and then you have to make sure you're not letting guys move, which we saw in the women's game a couple games where they were lighting them up the whole game.
Yes, and a lot of those I didn't think were necessarily creating an advantage. That one definitely was. Here's Cooper, gets a high screen from Dillon, crosses, fakes. Kicks it out for Steinman, but he didn't keep moving to his right. That's a backcourt violation as it trickles to the PNW bench. And so Springfield will have it now, working in a tie game, 14-14, as Dillon's bucket has tied the game. Sideline inbound here for Michael Wrights. Finds Weber, and now it's Campbell who runs the show. Weber at the PNW logo. Gives it off to Wright. Puts it on the floor. 7 to shoot. Here's Hannah outside. Hannah crossing Irvin. Elevates over him. Missed the shot. Tipped by Weber, though, into the hands of Campbell, who sticks it in. DeAndre Campbell off the bench, averaging about 5 points per game. And Cooper had the ball out high and a whistle off the ball underneath with Dillon and Weber. And Weber has been whistled for his second personal, this time off the ball on the defensive end, as opposed to off the ball on the offensive side like his first foul came. Pride have it here out of bounds in the baseline, down 2 as we approach the 12-minute mark. Njai off the catch, gets a great look, and little hook shot ties us at 16.
Very nice out of bounds play. 1-4, Njai got the lob, and he went right to work in front of the rim. That was a well-executed underneath the basket out of bounds play.
Got right to the spot to make it work. Campbell, Esker, the big man, now working inside. Campbell driving, and a whistle on the drive is going to take us to the under 12 media timeout. 16-16 ball game here in the first half from the Fitness and Rec Center.
Easy to feel a sense of gratitude here in Indiana because there is a whole lot to be grateful for. Family and friends and enough calmness around you to really appreciate the simple things. I really just try to show gratitude by doing my part, working hard, being friendly and kind. I feel really lucky to live here.
The values that built Indiana are here in Strachan Van Til. We're Indiana's grocery store, and we're proud to be Indiana made.
Michelob Ultra, 2.6 carbs and 95 calories.
$11:40 remaining in this first half. 16-16 score here. One of the final non-conference games for Boomer Roberts and company. They'll be back here on Monday afternoon. The women and the men playing in a 1 and 3 o'clock doubleheader on this Christmas break on the 19th. That's in 2 days. And that's it for home non-conference games, and then we get strictly into the conference schedule in the new year on January 5th. So far, so good for PNW in the last segment, Coach. I thought they were looking a little bit better, getting comfortable with the style of play.
They always need Cooper, it seems, to get him started. You know, early in the year, Dillon got him started. The last games that we've been here, Cooper's got him going, and I always like to see Dillon get involved in the offense early. We haven't seen him step back off a ball screen and shoot a 3 yet, but I'm sure that's going to happen.
Basketball out of bounds here for Springfield after the foul was called on the drive. Tough catch underneath by Jackson. Dribbles out. Campbell fakes, drives. Njai Walling off the window, no. Tipped out of bounds, and this is off Springfield last.
Campbell's a very physical guard. He don't look 6'2" to me. He's listed there. Maybe, you know, he doesn't. He looks like he's about 5'11", 6 foot at the best.
Reminds me a little bit of Glenn Davis. Remember him? Big
Yes.
baby?
Yep.
Yeah. Very nice, really good college player, and then had a really solid NBA career as well. They called him Big Baby because he was kind of a bigger guy, but he moves so well. That's why I say that about Campbell. He moves pretty well.
He
for
really
a bigger
slides
guy.
well.
7 to shoot. Dillon over the top of Esker. His 3 won't go. Njai, though, keeps it alive for a moment as it tipped, hit the baseline. Late whistle gives it back to the Prairie Stars.
I think he might have missed the hook foul there and decided to look for the feet on the baseline. It looked like there was a little hook and hold there.
Yeah, I thought he got him a little bit as well. Illinois Springfield with the basketball.
Good out of bounds play. You run a split and then bring a guy up the middle. That's an old school out of bounds play.
It's Jacob Hanna. Jackson, they lob it inside to Esker, and he's a wider guy. Barnard guarding him. Tried to reach in there and steal the ball. He's called for the foul. That was the final PNW foul to give with 10:49 to play in the first half. to the corner. This is right. Pretty good look. Rhythm. And that's his second make from downtown.
That was a 1-4, and they had a couple little curl screens there. That was a well-executed out-of-bounds play also.
Njai driving into a crowd, and it tipped away, and then it was knocked out of bounds, and it went, thankfully for Songale, between his legs, off last the hands of Jacob Hanna. Coach, I know you were asking me about Colts and Vikings earlier. 36-36 with 122. It was 33-0 at one point.
30, yeah. When I left it, it was 30-0.
That is amazing. Here's Whitehead. He almost lost it as well. Thankfully, it was tipped out of his hands to Barnard. AB's got it.
Can't get AB started here either.
Deep three from Kai Steinman. That was a stagnant possession, and Kai bails him out.
If you give him space and he don't have to put it on the floor, he can make that shot. We've seen him do that numbers of times. Oh, nice pass. I don't know why the fake, but anyway. I just go up with the right hand and score. I mean, that.
It was a great play by Campbell to get it to Esker, and he made it a little bit more difficult, but he got the bucket. Back the other way, here's Whitehead. Inside out to Steinman, puts it on the floor. Campbell sliding nicely to get back in front of him. Here's AB, works against Esker, trying to use the speed. Leans in and scores left side. Little window for AB to tie it at 21.
Nice to get AB started now. We got him started.
All loose on the floor. Jefferson diving, he couldn't quite corral it as it rolls into his own bench with 21 to shoot for Illinois Springfield. Just been informed that's the biggest comeback in NFL history so far, by the way. No team has ever been down 33 points. I know there was a game in the 80s, right? Weren't the Bills down in one of those AFC championship games?
I didn't realize that. 33, huh? That's a
33-0. Oh, good news for the hometown baseball folks as well. I'm getting all the updates for anybody who's listening on the radio. Dansby Swanson, I understand, signing with the Cubs. Going to happen here. So there you go. All the good news for the home fans, unless you're a Colts fan, then it's all bad. It's been a bad season.
It's a tough year.
To be a Colts fan.
They bring out the...
Here's a three, right wing. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness.
When you shoot it that well, you get bounces like that. That was way short, and it hit up near the top of the backboard and then rolled in for Jacob Hanna. And right now, that three is the difference.
Steinman's got to protect that ball on the side. He shows it out too easy in front of him.
Barnard backing down, fades, throws it out to Irvin, 10 to shoot. Irvin driving left it, Whitehead, the jam. And Coach Brock is furious as Michael Wright was laying on the floor, but if anything, I think he was in the restricted arc, and that would have been an offensive foul.
Yeah, nice pass from Irvin there.
If anything, too, it should have been a flop, I would think, if he's on the floor. But what do I know? 1 point lead for Illinois Springfield. Post up here for Esker, right side. Backs in on Whitehead. Khalil reached in, went with the left, missed the shot, and a late whistle. I think is going to be on that shot, and it is. So Isaiah Esker is going to the free throw line, and now a technical foul. Matt Brock whistled for a tech, I believe.
Currently there is a foul.
So a shooting foul against Whitehead. Esker's going to shoot two here in a moment, but Steinman has a couple of free throws here on the technical foul by the Illinois Springfield head coach. It ties the game at 24. Second one for Kai. He takes both of the free ones to his advantage and puts P&W up 25-24. With 8:31 on the clock here, and a couple of shots now for Esker, who is a 69% free throw shooter. So we've seen a flopping technical called on Michel Cooper and a technical against Matt Brock as well. He was still mad about that play that just happened that led to the Khalil Whitehead dunk. It was the pass that made him upset. He thought Irvin should have been called for an offensive foul. Not the case, though. Esker ties the game at 25. He's got one more coming. Big 6'10" sophomore center.
Yeah, Esker and Weber interchange in that 4-out, 1-in offense. They're I doubt if we'll see both of them in the game very often together, not with the way they run that 4-out offense.
Jefferson, they got to switch off. Rice is guarding Barnard if they can find him. Complete mismatch. Now they lob it into him. AB waits for the clear out. Backs, steps through. Extra pass, a good one. Irvin, 3. You bet. Great pass from Jefferson. And Irvin's got himself a 3.
Nice play. Barnard spit the ball out. You got a pump fake by Jefferson. He reverses the ball. And Irvin's right perfect, right into his hands. He didn't have to do anything but shoot it.
Rice got to the rim. Missed with the left. It's tipped out of bounds, though, by Barnard, as Esker was going to corral it if he did not. 28-26 our score. The difference right now in Anthony Irvin 3 with 7:52 to play in the first half.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Kyle Dempsey in Hammond today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Dale Cooper started a program that is putting gardens in more than 50 local schools, helping kids get healthy food and learn where it comes from. People like Dale inspire us at NIPSCO, where we're transitioning from coal-powered generation to new lower-cost energy resources like wind and solar, making energy cleaner, reliable, and ultimately more affordable. Because like Dale, we're dedicated to leaving things better. Learn more about our Your Energy, Your Future plan at nipsco.com/future.
7:52 to play in this first half. 28-26. Irvin, the 3, brought to you by Strachan Van Til. The difference, and it was a little pick and roll on the side. They got the mismatch, and then it was inside-out basketball.
That was beautiful going into Barnard, going back out to Jefferson, little fake, reverse the ball to Irvin, got a wide-open jump shot.
And Irvin, who was really hot early in the season, had struggled a bit, but he's still shooting 42% from deep this year, so definitely a guy you'd like to see with some open shots.
And players don't realize how effective pump fakes are. Not only do you pump fake the defender on you, it freezes the defense because they're not sure where you're going with the ball. Now, you don't want a lateral ball fake because then the officials are going to light you up, but you want to keep that real strong vertical, and you got to make it look like your shot every time you do it. You have to work on that in practice.
Jacob Hanna inbounding here after the ball went out of bounds. Esker slipping at the rim. He tried to dunk it. And Whitehead, I think, is going to get tagged here. Esker about to go back to the free throw line, and Khalil has got his second foul, as he was at least able to prevent the dunk. And Esker, one of those big guys, doesn't have the hair to match, but you think about last year's Carolina team that went to the final. Mr. Mannix or Minix,
right,
whatever his name was, and the beard. Everyone, the big guys, I think that's the thing, right? All the big guys like that now, especially if you got like a light brownish and that beard's almost kind of red for a lot of these guys, and that's the look. The lumberjack look is in. Esker missed them both, but it's tipped into the hands of Kunert, who fades it off the window. Got fortunate Esker missed them both, but they couldn't close out and get the basketball. Game's tied.
Not a very well executed box out there by Obi right there. He needed to pin that guy.
As Quesley, though, makes up for it.
Comes back and hits that nice short corner jump shot.
So back and forth in this game a ton. P&W 30-28 over Springfield.
So far, very evenly matched game, both teams. It's going to come down to execution as usual in the second half.
Here's Rice. Rice lobbing. Esker catching. Jefferson took it away as he brought the ball down. Jefferson with the basketball, pushing the tempo. Gets into the lane, thought about throwing it into Ezekwesili. Irvin will now. Obi to his right, throws it up there, no. Fight for it, and it's off of hand. It'll stay here. Matt Brock hasn't been happy a couple of times with the officials, and he's trying to say that there should have been a foul call maybe. Right, have it with 20 to shoot.
He's on the road. He's trying to work them. You know, that's the typical way you coach. You get on the road early the first half.
Out of bounds set here, finds Cooper. Cooper, a little discard, fading. Good defense. Nice job by Hannah, and he grabs the board as well.
Yeah, Hannah's not a thick player, but he's very strong physically.
Not the guy to lose. Kunert was wide open. A rare miss from downtown for him. It was tipped out to Rice, though, still loose, as he lost it on the drive off of Irvin last. 17 to shoot for the visitors. It's a rare miss for Max Kunert. We've talked about Michael Wright at 47. Well, Kunert, who comes off the bench, the sophomore sharpshooter, 46%, and he is an automatic guy from the free throw line. So far this year, quite literally, has made every attempt. Inbounded here to Weber, playing with 2 fouls, remember. He gets it, backs down, he likes that left, and scores again.
You know, on that out-of-bounds play with that lob, he gets it on the right side, he's going to the middle with that left hand every time.
His bucket ties the game at 30 with 6.5 to play in the first half here from PNW. Irvin off for Dillon, gives it to Cooper. Michel getting downhill, absorbs the contact. Good job by Weber playing with 2 fouls. Here comes Hannah, off for Johnson. Rice, the trailer. Gets it back here from Johnson, now works against Obi. To the corner, on the dump inside to Weber. 1-on-1 against Dillon. Johnson on the kick out for 3, and he gives him the lead. Boomer Roberts will take himself a timeout. 5:56 to play in the first half. Illinois Springfield now leads by 3.
Northwest Indiana ER and Hospital is thrilled to bring full-service concierge-level emergency care to the region. Our mission to provide the best patient experience is achieved by way of immediate access to the absolute best physicians, nurses, and support staff in the area. Our emergency department and hospital are open 24/7 for all of your medical needs. Our entire team is dedicated to serving you and will provide excellent care in our state-of-the-art facility. Call or visit our facility, which is conveniently located off of Interstate 8094.
33-30 Illinois Springfield. 5:56 on the clock, and Keith Johnson, a couple of threes. He's one of the guys that maybe you wouldn't have at the top of the scouting report, but he's got a confident stroke. He's looking like a guy who was maybe just missing more shots than normal early, because he can make them.
Yeah, you've got to close him out and make him put the ball on the floor. There's another guy. If he gets his feet set under him, his percentages are going to be a lot better.
Dillon is stripped. It was Johnson who got his hand in there. Now gets it ahead. Wright and Rice off for Hannah here, right wing. A lot of tight passing around the perimeter. PNW's been about half an inch from a steal a couple of times. Here's Weber now. Waits, goes left, might have got away with a walk.
You know he's going left, and then he's going to bounce right back, so just hold your ground there.
Wow, that's textbook. He got exactly where he wanted to.
Yep.
And puts him up by 5.
Very experienced post player.
Just a sophomore, too, at that, and credit to him against Dillon, who's been in the college game. He's a senior, but he's been around for a long time. Trying to work the same way. Spins back, got it knocked away. Weber, a couple of blocks on the possession. Here's Jacob Hannah. Thought about going at Irvin, finds the trailer Rice. Gets it back here. Goes baseline, went to whip it to the corner, and Njai tips it out of bounds.
Well, I'm very impressed with Rice as a point guard. His stats doesn't matter. He controls the floor. He makes really good pace on his passes right in the shooting pocket. Here's that little cross screen 1-4 out of bounds play again, and now they're giving set up again on the inside.
And Weber just putting on a clinic in the post. He's got the last 4 points in a 7-point lead. It's 30-28 PNW now, 9-0 run. Whistle off the ball. Njai tied up underneath. They're going to get Michael Wright. That's a significant foul. That's his second. Might send him to the bench, and it will. Joan Geiner into the game for the first time. Wright is out of the game for Springfield. Evan Altman, first time we've seen him today. Weber, who, remember, picked up 2 early fouls, also back to the bench after he just had his way with PNW for the last couple minutes.
Very effective minutes. Boy, he's good on those out-of-bounds plays. That 1-4 low, they have that little cross screen. Boy.
And speaking of out-of-bounds plays, PNW didn't have anybody open. Tried a tight quarters pass to the corner for Jefferson. He couldn't handle it. And so PNW gives it right back. Springfield with it in the midst of a 9-0 run.
That's one place you don't want to catch the ball, Sam, is in that dead corner going toward the baseline. You're in such a bad position to do anything from there. Put it on the floor, get it out of there.
4:25 left in the first half. Rice going left. Irvin staying in front. Rolls it outside for Hannah. Tried to whip it back in. Good play. Irvin jumps in, takes it away.
That's what I've been wanting to see, is that help side defense.
Yeah. Oh, that's terrible.
I think he was in a restricted area, too. I'm not sure. That was close.
And I don't care if he was or not. He wasn't set.
Yeah.
I mean, that is I'd like to see if we have a look at that. That's garbage. Foul called on Michel Cooper. I don't think this is particularly close. No, I mean, he's just sliding all over the map.
And he was outside the restricted.
He was, yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was a little bit inside, but that was a bad call.
That's no good. And this is the problem with college basketball officiating. We see it at the high school level, too. I mean, the charge is the popular call, and we can't give the benefit of the doubt. I mean, there's no defensive attempt there by Hannah. His entire defensive effort is, I'm just going to fall down and hope that I get a call. And we see it too often. I saw it earlier in the Alabama-Gonzaga game. 3 the other way. Altman, and it's a 12-0 run. He delivers in a 10-point lead.
You called it, Sam, before the game. You cannot. These guys are going to score points on squared-up jump shots. We've seen very little going to the basket except Weber, but their perimeter guys are looking to get their feet under them and shoot that squared-up three. Now our first look at Gentry, I believe, today.
He's in there now, 10 to shoot. Irvin pulls up, blocked out of bounds. Good recovery by Johnson. And Irvin trying to say he got hit on the elbow. It'll be 8 to shoot for PNW. Final media timeout of the first half, 3:28 remaining in this first half of play. 40-30 Springfield.
Northwest Indiana ER and Hospital is thrilled to bring full-service concierge-level emergency care to the region. Our mission to provide the best patient experience is achieved by way of immediate access to the absolute best physicians, nurses, and support staff in the area. Our emergency department and hospital are open 24/7 for all of your medical needs. Our entire team is dedicated to serving you and will provide excellent care in our state-of-the-art facility. Call or visit our facility, which is conveniently located off of Interstate 8094.
PNW will have it out of bounds here off the block shot by Keith Johnson of Springfield. 8 seconds on the shot clock. And this was once a 30-28 PNW lead. And it's a 12-0 run so far, punctuated by Evan Altman. Another good-looking sophomore. A lot of sophomores on this team for Matt Brock. You can tell he had a young team last year and they went 12-17. But as these guys have gained experience, they're pretty impressive. I mean, some of these guys, you look and you say, wow, that guy's got to be a senior. Weber comes to mind, only a sophomore.
And they're agile players at 6'6", 6'5". They can handle the ball, put it on the floor, square up shooters, so they got a lot of balance. And they don't have giant size in the post, but they've got very good size on the perimeter. And I'm going to say it again, Jordan Rice is an excellent point guard, one of the better ones I've seen this year taking care of the ball. He may not have all the stats scoring, but he does everything else.
Very steady guy, and he still chips in 10 per game.
And like you said, he's a sophomore, so that's even.
Irvin, that is a big shot for Anthony Irvin. He hits a triple and stops that run, making it 40-33.
Nice way to come out of a timeout, get the shot you want. That's.
Back cut here. Hannah tried to tomahawk it and missed the jam, but it bounced out to Esker. And so a reload here for Springfield. Here's Rice, miscommunication. Great hustle by Hannah, but he saved it to Steinman. He couldn't handle it. Here's Johnson, wide open for three as Rice misses that one. Barnard the last to touch, or no, they'll say it was Johnson. And PNW fortunate to have it back. But Springfield may be fortunate PNW didn't have a layup the other way.
Yeah, I think that was Johnson or Altman knocked that out off the hands of AB. Boy, they needed that basket coming out of that timeout. They'd had a drought there from 12-point swing there. That was a huge shot. And let's see if we can get another good high percentage shot here.
Under 3 minutes to play in this first half. Here's Cooper. Irvin off the down screen. Good recovery by Johnson, so he swings it. Steinman, no, on the three. Hustling, though, got his own miss in the corner. Now up top for Irvin. Right wing Barnard. Cooper off the curl. Gets it underneath, lost his footing, and he traveled. Hannah was in great position. He just stood his ground, and Cooper fell to the floor.
Yeah, he made that little curl and got underneath the backboard, and he couldn't find the right space he needed.
It's so much momentum, he just couldn't stop himself almost. Get it across the timeline to Hannah. Stops just inside the arc, now back out here for Rice. 20 on the shot clock and 2:15 to play in the first half, and a 40-33 Illinois Springfield lead. Here's Rice. Hannah, now 10 to shoot. Cooper almost had a steal. Hannah gets it back. Into Esker, works on Geiner.
Got to get some help.
Off the window, no. Barnard the rebound, and that's maybe a hook and hold underneath. They'll play on. Barnard now with it. Cooper. Screen from AB. They roll it off to him. Barnard, power dribble, out of control off the miss. And rebound inside for Esker.
Yeah, going left and couldn't get his body squared up. Boy, Hannah, for not being big, he's a physical player.
Rice leaves it. And a foul is the call, I guess. Altman on the catch. I thought he might have stepped out of bounds. Instead, they're going to get Joanne Geiner for the reach-in foul, and that will send Altman to the line for a 1-and-1. Sophomore on the season is 4 of 5 from the free throw line. He comes on the floor. He's more of a three-point specialist so far. And actually, not a 1-and-1. That was the 10th team foul, so the double bonus. Makes the first anyways. There's one more coming before that happens. Lou Dillon replacing Geiner with 1:32 left in this first half of play. B&W is playing well. They struggled a bit early, then got into the flow of the game and started trading leads. But in about the last 6 minutes, it's been all Illinois Springfield. Altman got them both.
And it's all been in spurts with them. They'll run 8 or 10, then they'll stop, and then the Pride hit a couple threes, Steinman and Irvin, and can't get the inside play going today so far. It's not really been there. Dillon, we haven't seen him really have too much to offer today. There's finally, we need to get him going.
Jump hook in the lane from Alou brings it back within 7, 42-35. Now 1:10 to play in the first half. Rice here off for Johnson. Back to Rice on top. He's got a mismatch on Dillon. Steps back, hits. That's a long two. Delivered by Jordan Rice.
Yeah, he's one of those point guards, won't take a lot of shots, but I'm sure his percentages will be pretty good when he shoots.
Now 50 seconds to play in the first half. Handoff here for Steinman. Hesitates on Rice and a reach-in foul. Rice almost had a steal. But he came through Steinman's body to get it, and so Kai will go to the free throw line level 1-and-1. That foul on Rice is his first. Kai Steinman at the line so far in the season. 5 of 6 from the charity stripe. Not a lot of attempts for the P&W guard.
The penalty.
One and one here for Steinman. Only 43.8 to play in the first half, and he makes the front end. He'll get the second one.
Pride substitution. Jefferson back for Cooper.
44-36 our score. Kai trying to bring him back within 7. And he does.
Pride got to be ready now for something for Weber inside, because he's got 2 fouls and they brought him back in, so they're going to run. I'm looking to see some kind of play for him in the post.
And he's already working there just as they walk it across.
That was what they designed to do there, boy. Like a little bit slide there, pick up that charge right there.
They reposted to him. Kicks it. Good closeout by Steinman on Johnson. Ball going to the floor. Almost saved it. Popped up. Picked up by Steinman. 15 seconds left in the half. And P&W can get the final shot. Jefferson back in with the basketball. Now 10. Jefferson still not going. Now starts with 5. Dribbles right. Waits for Steinman. Out to him. They leave the ball handler. Wide open three right before the buzzer is a big one. Couple of big shots for Kai Steinman in this first half from downtown. And that three brought to you by Strachan Van Til will take us to the break. You never leave the ball handler.
Never leave, especially with the shot clock running down. He hasn't got time to pass the ball. You go out and close them out and make them put it on the floor.
Steinman, 4-point game at the break, 44-40 as we step aside.
Rise and shine.
All right. WJOB's Jim Deedlow starts your weekdays at 6 a.m. Jed in the region. And be sure to follow us on Facebook. WJOB, AM 1230 and 104.7 FM.
Uno, a dos, a one, two, tres, cuatro.
Region Bandstand with Gino
and Big Dave, everybody.
Saturday mornings on WJOB AM 1230
and FM 104.7 in Hammond.
Hey, don't be filling up me drums. This is Ringo talking. No, it's actually Rick Kubik telling you to check out Beatles Bits. And it's not only songs, there are bits about how the songs are recorded, what they're doing when they recorded them, and how they came about, and other things as well. So get off your cornflake and check out Beatles Bits, Wednesdays at 9 p.m. with an encore performance at Friday at 9 p.m. on WJOB AM 1230, 104.7 FM. We go worldwide on jedtv.com.
Boomer Roberts has a bunch of new players coming in this year to help stabilize this PNW program and take it to new heights, and Brevin Jefferson is one of those players. He's a new guard, right?
Yep.
Playing the guard spot here, coming in. This is your sophomore year for PNW. You're coming out of a JUCO, right?
Yep.
Tell us about that and how excited you are for the season coming around.
Coming out of JUCO, I mean, I learned a lot. JUCO basketball is really, it's just a learning experience because everybody is just trying to get to the next level. So, I mean, it's a learning process. It's a lot of young guys. I mean, you don't have seniors up there that are 20, 22 years old. So it's a whole bunch of young guys. So that was a learning experience for me and learning how to lead. And I'm excited for this year because we have a lot of older guys. I'm not one of the oldest on the team. So coming in, learning from the returners, and just learning how the culture is, I'm really excited to see what we can do this year.
What have you learned from some of the returners about maybe some of the things that kind of plagued this team last year that you can help really reverse and make strengths coming up?
Just staying focused on our goal and what our main goal at the end of the season is, and just putting myself in the best positions to be able to stay on the team, and just continue to help the team win, and just being an active player.
Indiana basketball is a big deal. They always say 49 other states, right? And you grew up in it. Indianapolis area, some of the best teams in the state. I feel like a lot of state championships are being won in about a 20-mile radius there. How tough was some of the competition you faced in high school?
The competition was very tough. Playing in Indianapolis, I mean, every school, every night, it's a big game. I mean, you're playing teams like Ben Davis, Warren Central, they've won state championships in the past 5 years. So, I mean, every night it's a game. I mean, you got to bring your best foot forward. So Indiana basketball is just amazing. So playing against those teams and playing in Indiana basketball is just, it's a different feel. It's a feel you won't get anywhere else.
In your time of college, and then I'm sure you had some AAU teams you might have traveled around, what did you notice as far as what sets Indiana apart from the other states?
Really the fundamental basketball and just knowing how to play off the ball and playing defense. I mean, a lot of teams, they just go out there and think you can just play. You can just run up and down the court. But Indiana basketball, I mean, from a young age, you're taught fundamentals, you're taught help side defense, and I feel going like a lot of AAU teams, they're not really taught that until high school. But I mean, in elementary school, it's the basis of what you do.
So when did you get your start? 3, 4, 5? I mean, when do you remember having a basketball?
I remember having a basketball when I was like 3. I mean, I had a little tight goal on my porch, and I just remember I have a fond memory of like every Friday at like 11, they run the tornado warning, and I just remember using that as like a buzzer, and I would shoot buzzer beaters on my little tight goal. So I mean, ever since I can remember, I've been playing basketball.
Biggest influence on your career, you think?
My family, mainly my big brother, my oldest brother. He got me into basketball, and then my middle brother, he played football, but just seeing his work ethic and just how he carried himself. He was a quarterback, so he was the leader of the team. So just seeing how he carried himself, I mean, it just made me want to be the leader of every team that I was on.
Your brother play college too?
Yeah, he played quarterback at Illinois State.
Illinois State, okay. So you've got it in the blood, obviously, the lineage of guys who are going to that next level to play. That had to be top of mind for you going through high school. I gotta follow suit, right?
Yeah, I mean, my brothers are my biggest inspiration. I look up to them. I'm the youngest, so I mean, growing up, I always wanted to do what they did. I always wanted to follow in what they were doing, and now growing up, I just want to make them proud.
How about the parents? They pass it down too?
Yeah, my dad played high school sports. He went to Manual. He won a sectional and regional championship. So I mean, he was always in our lives and always put sports in our lives. And it was just, from the start, it was just sports.
What else do you do with your time? Is there anything else that's left, or is it sports and school and that's it?
I mean, I like to play the game a little bit. I don't really be on it too much because, I mean, it takes away from schoolwork. But just really hanging out with my teammates and creating bonds because, I mean, that's the most important thing. If we want to take it far, we got to create bonds and really be like a family.
Compare Indianapolis to Northwest Indiana. How is it different? How is it the same?
It's a little colder up here.
Yes, it is.
I mean, the other day it was like,
lake. That's
yeah,
what
the
it
lake.
is.
The other day it was like 30, 35 degrees, but it felt like it was 20. And I mean, I was thinking, I mean, it's only fall, so what's gonna happen in the winter? But I mean, other than that, I don't really see a difference.
Yeah, we got a little blast of that cold. It's supposed to be 70 this weekend when we're doing this interview here in middle October, but we're weird around here, man. You know how it is in the Midwest. It's funny how you can go barely a couple hundred miles south and have a dramatic 10 to 15 degree difference in time. So, yeah, you're going to miss that. You're going to miss that for sure. Good news is we don't have to go to Westville anymore because we don't get as much of the snow.
Okay.
There'd be times when it would look like this outside here, and we'd be going to Westville, and I'd get about 15 miles down the road to the east, and all of a sudden, boom, it's like you're in a snow globe. So avoid that at all costs. The snow is not fun. When you look at this year for you and trying to make this adjustment, jumping from high school to JUCO now to here, is it a bigger adjustment for you on the floor, or is it off the floor in the classroom? I mean, what is your personal biggest battle?
I mean, the classroom, it is different, more workload, tougher classes, but on the court, really, it's just being consistent. Seeing the old guys, like the returners, seeing them every day, they're consistent with what they do, with their work. So that's really a big thing, just being consistent on my work and like work off the court to translate for on the court.
Tell us about the classroom a little bit. Major, how some of those classes are going.
I major in communications, so I don't really think the work is that hard. It's definitely different, but I mean, I enjoy the classes. It's just really just a lot of talking, class discussions, and then homework. Homework is really just discussion boards, and we just communicate with our other classmates and just getting ideas from each other.
Why did you choose that?
I want to be a sports broadcaster. So
play-by-play guy?
Play-by-play.
Yeah.
Commentating.
All right. Take my job.
I'll try to.
Hey, absolutely. You know, it's a tough gig. What made you want to do that? First question.
I seen guys like Charles Barkley, Shaquille O'Neal on the TNT network, and just the charisma they have with each other it just looked like something fun to do. And sports has been my life forever. So I just feel like it would be something easy to transition into.
Okay. Just be ready for, unless you play basketball, overseas or something or whatever might happen in your career post-college, be prepared if it's in communication for a very, very low salary, okay? Be ready for that. It's tough, and it weeds people out early because you have to, I always compare it to the grind of trying to make it to the big leagues in any sport, right? Like baseball, you got to go through low A and then high A and then double A and then triple A, and finally before you get to the majors. And there's so many broadcasters who have to do the same thing. I mean, I got a chance to talk to, I don't know if you know who Matt Vasgersian is. He's a baseball play-by-play guy. He used to do the ESPN Sunday Night Baseball and stuff. And I saw him one time in Florida. We were at the winter meetings, and he told me, when I asked him advice, he said, the biggest advice I can give you is don't do what I did, which was 2 years at single A, 2 years at double A, 2 years at triple A before I got my shot, which some people never get their shot, so it could be a lot worse.
Yeah.
But yeah, if that's something you want to do, I know people have probably told you this, but it is difficult. But I'm in it the same reasons you are, man. I love sports. Not a good enough player. Wasn't gonna be able to coach, and officiating was a potential, but I think broadcasting, I'm trying. So, have you done anything else in sports, or just played and maybe thought about the broadcasting? You ever officiated? Anything else? Coaching in your future?
I have thought about coaching, just being a point guard, being a leader on the floor. I feel like it would be I wouldn't say it would be easy, but it would be a good transition into coaching. Kind of like Steve Nash and Jason Kidd. I enjoyed watching them when I was growing up, and then just seeing how they're coaching now. I could definitely see myself coaching.
Yeah, we need some officials too, just so you know. You ever officiated?
I've officiated like little kids, but nothing too serious.
It's tough. You don't want the parents yelling at you? Is that what it is?
I don't want that at all.
Yeah, I tell you, man, it's tough. You see it. I mean, you played and you watched how the guys got treated in high school games. You see how they get treated in college.
Yeah, I would definitely. I don't want that type of treatment.
Yeah. Sometimes it's fun though when people yell at you. Yeah. So looking at the team this year, you got all these new faces. You're one of them. Mixing in with all the returning guys. Who's excited you the most? Some of the guys you see in practice and the way they've gone about their work.
Jalen Gentry, he's a newcomer. Just the way he uses his voice to lead. I mean, he's not a big person, but he has a big personality and he has a big heart, and I feel like that reflects on some of the other players. Anthony Irvin, he's a great worker. I see him in the gym all the time, and it makes me want to get in the gym more. So seeing guys like those, it really gets me excited for the season and really happy to play with them.
Looking at how you got here a bit more, conversations that you had, give us a little Cliff Notes timeline version of you talking to, whether it was Coach Kendall first or Boom first, however that happened.
I spoke with Coach Kendall first. He's an Indianapolis guy.
Yeah.
So he knows my family. He coached my brother in high school. So there was already a connection built there. And then he introduced me to Boomer, and then we just had conversations about just playing at PNW and what I wanted out of basketball and what I wanted out of school and life. So having those conversations and creating those bonds, it really made me feel like this was the place to be.
So what are you bringing to the table, court-wise? Like, what are we looking for, and you can say this is the calling card?
Leadership. I can bring leadership, defensive intensity, and I could score the ball.
All right. One last thing to finish up on, goals you got for you guys, and I've heard from most of them so far about, you want to be near the top of the GLIAC, stuff like that. But if you had to write some on paper for yourself and for this team, what do you think you'd write?
For the team, I mean, we talk about it every day in practice and everything we do. We want to win the GLIAC, so we just work towards that every day. And every situation we put ourselves in, we think this is the GLIAC championship. What are we going to do about it? So, I mean, that's a big goal for us, to put a banner up. For myself, really just meshing with the guys and getting in and just playing my part and just helping us win.
All right, man. Appreciate the time. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right, looking forward to a big season here for PNW, and Brevin Jefferson will be a big part of that, we're sure. And We hope that whenever you're watching these interviews, I know they'll play throughout the season, hopefully a lot of the things we talked about have come true and checking the boxes of the goals that are lofty for sure for PNW, but definitely attainable with some of the new talent that we've seen. Here at the half, 44-40 our score. Illinois Springfield on top as we get started for half number 2. 10 points from Kai Steinman and the big shots right before halftime. A little momentum, hopefully.
Yeah, it's a strange game. 59% field goal for Springfield, 56. Actually, there's been too many wide open jump shots for both teams, are just letting everybody shoot without getting a hard closeout. So that's why the percentages are so high. Purdue Northwest is 62% from 3 and 54 for Springfield. So we haven't seen a lot of hard closeouts in this game, either side.
One thing to watch will be Michael Wright and Jack Weber. They've both come into the second half with 2 fouls from the corner. Johnson, 3 to start the second half. No good. Rebounded by Dillon. Pushed ahead to Cooper. Almost lost it. Great play by Wright to save the ball before he slipped out of bounds. And Springfield takes it right back. It's Jordan Rice. Bounces it inside to Weber. He's outside around the elbow. Now starts to work on Dillon. Backs him down. You know he wants to get to his left, and they're going to call Dillon for leaning into Weber with his elbow.
That's playing Barkley ball there. Just walk, dribble 5, 6 times on the floor. The problem when you do that, everybody stands around. So he was a little bit farther out than he normally was on that post position on the right side.
Second foul on Alou Dillon.
This is that out of bounds play the Pride have had trouble executing on. That is a clear series for Weber on that out of bounds play.
Almost had a steal here on the roll. Weber goes baseline, up and under, puts it in. I mean, you got to make him go right.
Absolutely, and you know, some people watching the game remember college, you've got more room to work on the baseline than you do in high school. Sometimes you forget when you're in a high school game, you don't have that kind of baseline space down there to work.
It's Jefferson. Screen from Dillon on the right side. Dillon now, he's got Rice on him. Huge mismatch. Can't quite get it to him. Now they swing it around and do. Dillon swims through and scores himself.
Nice move. Nice to see Dillon come out and score and get a touch.
They traded buckets here to start the second half, and the lead stays at 4 points, now 46-42. Rice on the drive and kick out for Wright. He's guarded tightly by Cooper, so he moves it to Johnson. Anna comes on the curl, stopped at the block. Back out for Rice. Rice against Barnard. Crosses, gets to the middle. Hannah in the corner couldn't handle it. It's a turnover.
Yeah, Hannah didn't step to the ball that time. That's why he had the turnover. If he'd have stepped and caught it with an inside pivot foot, he'd had pretty good balance there.
PNW can cut it back to a one-possession game with a bucket here. It's Anthony Irvin. Now back in the hands of Brevin Jefferson. Down screen by Barnard, trying to get Dillon free. Jefferson driving, baseline. Corner is Irvin.
One more.
Cooper fakes, goes behind the back. Got to the rim, blocked though by Hannah. And he kept it from going out of bounds. His outlet pass then is almost taken, but Jefferson can't save it before it goes out of bounds. Springfield basketball with 7:52 to go in the game. Still expect a lot of lead changes maybe as we play here.
Pride with a little token pressure. There's Hannah. We haven't seen him take that kind of shot. That was early. Nobody was ready.
He's not a volume three-point shooter, but in his limited attempts, he's been pretty successful. 6 of 16 coming into today. Alou Dillon. Up top, Weber. Jefferson, he sets the screen, does Dillon now. Don't get the action they want. Try to work it back to the middle. Irvin comes, shot fakes himself, some space. The three won't go. Dillon on the deflection, then Jefferson trying to keep the play alive is called for the foul.
That's the kind of fouls you don't want to get, because now you're going to keep getting 2 or 3 of those, and the other team's in the bonus a lot earlier.
Second foul on Brevin Jefferson in the game. Second team foul on PNW in this half. Springfield did get into the double bonus in the first half.
It's like a little 1-2-2 3/4 trap to make Springfield eat some shot clock time up. Not a bad idea.
By the time they get set up here, there's 16 to shoot. Here's Weber. Dribbles over, gives it Johnson. Tough shot, wow.
Well, he's tough.
That's another three for Keith Johnson, his third make from deep in the ballgame. And Johnson, the guy, again, who had struggled a little bit from deep this year, he's up to 12 points.
He's showing us a lot more than what his stats show today.
Cooper lost it in the crowd.
That was good help defense over there by Springfield.
Right ahead now, Weber, the trailer. Johnson fakes the pass to the corner, drives the lane. Over Dillon, scores. He's got 14. And the lead all of a sudden ballooning to 9 points.
He's the man right now. They got it between him and Weber.
Try to work him defensively. Barnard made that tough, picked up his dribble early, and his fadeaway not even close. Hanna pushing the tempo. Cooper, the foul. Michel a bit frustrated, I think, with the way his team's playing. Almost seemed like he was trying to get a foul there to a dead ball situation.
And they've already got 3 team fouls right away, and 2 of them are totally unnecessary fouls.
Now that's the second foul on Michel, who will come out. Barnard also out of the game. Njai and Steinman are in, joining Jefferson, Irvin, and Alou Dillon. Boomer Roberts having a conversation with the 2 guys you would call his best returners, for sure, Cooper and AB.
And he's got it. He wants them to show composure and leadership on the floor. That's what they need right now.
Johnson, another one, fading on a 3, missed it, but the rebound popped all the way out to Jordan Rice. Now starts to drive, and he got Njai standing on his heels a bit, and he will be called for the personal foul.
Yeah, he should have had the block out on that first miss.
15:48 to go in the game. Springfield up 9.
The JED TV app is available on your smartphone and streaming devices. If you downloaded the WGLB Network app, then you're good to go. The same app with a new name. If not, head to the App Store on your phone or streaming device. And right now, you'll be able to watch JED in the Region Rush Hour, and all PNW and high school sports right in the palm of your hand or in the comfort of your own living room. That's the JED TV app, available on all streaming devices.
Purdue University Northwest students are driven to make their dreams a reality. Marquise Barconia is one example, building relationships that can last a lifetime.
The staff is great, the faculty is great, the classmates are awesome. I would say PNW sets you up for a career no matter what field you're in. The fact that I feel like I'm more prepared here than any other school I could have gone to, I would say PNW as a whole. It's just a great place for you to start your future.
Visit pnw.edu and power onward with Purdue Northwest.
Good start to this second half for Illinois Springfield. A big 3 from Steinman. He thought PNW might have some momentum to start the second frame, but from a 4-point advantage back up to 9 here for Springfield. And PNW coach now back on their heels again, quite literally.
Yeah, they kind of got out of sync there, and I know that they had a couple fouls there by Jefferson, and I think we had one over here in the corner by Cooper that were unnecessary fouls. So they got a little bit, lost their composure a little bit. Boomer's going to get them reset here. And
4 fouls on the team in just over 4 minutes of action, and so Springfield already trending to put themselves back into the bonus, which they did in the first half. In only the first 10 minutes, they were in the bonus for the final 10 minutes of that opening half of basketball. And if they keep up this pace, that'll happen even faster.
And when you got a point guard like Rice, you don't want to let them get too far ahead of you because he's such a solid point guard with the ball. He gets them into their sets.
Baseline inbound here with 20 seconds to shoot for the Prairie Stars. It's Johnson to start it. Good play by Njai, fronted it, but a great hustle by Johnson. Irvin coming in as the ball goes to the floor. Weber had it. And Anthony Irvin, courtesy of the possession area, will get it back to PNW.
Alternate position, prop.
Looked like Njai just had a straight-up steal, but Johnson, good hustle by him after he made a not-so-great pass there to get it back, at least for a moment, to push the arrow eventually back to his team after this inbound. It's PNW trailing by 9. Looking for some offense here. They've only scored a single field goal in the first 4 minutes of action in the second half. Jefferson going right. They got the switch again with Rice and Weber didn't find it. Instead, it's Steinman outside. He's having himself a game. He's got another 3.
Boy, he got his feet again set beautifully underneath him. Good pass right to the pocket. I believe that's his third 3.
Third 3 of the game, 13 points. He was only shooting 32% on the season from downtown. Another one brought to you by Strachan Van Til. That's 2 guys who were low 30s, Johnson and Steinman, who were having a great afternoon. 5 to shoot. Here's Rice. Goes into Weber, and with 4 on the shot clock.
Another foul and 2 hands on the back.
And that's who they're going to get is Dillon.
Yeah.
That's 2 of his 3 fouls now, just playing defense from behind against a player he can, you would think, be able to win a matchup as far as physicality is concerned. But Weber has really gotten the better of him. And not just of Dillon, of anybody they've thrown at Jack Weber. The only thing that made him a little bit unsuccessful was when he had to go to the bench with his second foul. Here's Johnson. He will fire over Njai. Soft front rim tipped into the hands of Hanna, and he had it blocked and went right to Weber, who lays it in.
Boy, Hanna is another guy. Don't have a lot of stats. Very active, very physical, gets loose balls. He's a blue-collar player.
53-45, Prairie Stars. Ezekwesili in. Back out to Irvin. Now Obi's got it on top. He will set over Weber. 3 barely draws iron, but an offensive board for Anthony Irvin. And PNW can reload. Here's Njai. Fakes the pass, almost lost it. Able to save it to Jefferson. Jefferson slips inside. Good recovery. Johnson the block. Looked like Brevin was going to have a point-blank look for a layup, and Keith Johnson doing everything today.
I just don't like the flow of this game for the Pride right now. They've got to get settled on offense where they can get some good shots, be in offensive rebound position. And
Johnson outside. They left to right for a moment. He was too deep, though, into Weber.
He's going left.
You know he is. Missed a rare shot on the turnaround.
Yeah, he had the glass there, and he tried a little jump hook right in front of the rim.
PNW with the ball. Jefferson fires it into Ezekwesili. Backs, right side, draws the foul. And Obi Ezekwesili will shoot 2. That's the 3rd foul now on Jack Weber. We'll see if he stays in.
And the first team foul for Springfield this half. They went almost 6.5 minutes here with just 1 foul.
Answer to that question will come quickly as Isaiah Esker quickly to the scores table. And Jack Weber will come out after this first free throw from Ezekwesili. Obi had some good minutes to start the game. Makes the free throw.
And that's a huge foul of getting that 3rd one on Weber to get him out, because he does everything on their out-of-bounds plays. He's their single post on their offense.
Well, mark that time on the clock, 13:36. See how long he stays out, how long before Matt Brock is forced to bring him back. Ezekwesili misses the 2nd, and Esker has the rebound for Springfield, leading by 7.
Very critical time of the game here for the Pride. Don't let this team get a 10 to 12 point lead right now.
Jefferson the foul. You could see that he was playing a bit on the side of Johnson, who was coming to turn the corner and drive the rim. 3rd foul on Jefferson is team foul number 6 already. And so for the final 13-21, Illinois Springfield will be in the bonus. Again, not a great free throw shooting team at all, 66%. Rice off the inbound, wide open from the corner. 3 won't go. Cooper able to tip it to Ezekwesili. And PNW's got it, trailing by 7. Here's Kai Steinman. Again, right into the post. Ezekwesili squaring up Esker. Goes to his right, spins back left. Forces up the hook. And he got the roll.
Good help by Johnson, but Ezekwesili had the presence to not get in a hurry and just put that ball up right over the front of the rim.
A&W trying to provide some pressure. Rice able to walk it across. Cooper almost had a steal. Kunert able to dribble away. Now he's got it here.
Yeah, it's nice to see the Pride moving their feet here now, real active. Just got to stay out of those foul situations.
Kunert able to step through. Ezekwesili thought that Michel Cooper was in good guarding position, so he went back to his man, and then he scores.
Exactly. He needed to stay home there. He could guard 2 guys there the way that as tight as they were.
55-48. Lead is going between 5 and 7 as they're trading buckets here the last couple minutes. Pride trailing by that 7-point mark. Out to Steinman. He's been the hot hand. Fakes. Steps back. Again, he's got his 4th three.
And that's off the dribble there. Beautiful move.
Ty Steinman keeping him in the basketball game with 12:09 to play here in this second half. And this will turn into the media timeout, so we will step aside here quickly. In a 55-51 game, Steinman, 4 threes, keeping P&W afloat.
You gotta catch up.
Yeah. I'll catch up with you. I'll be right back.
I'll see you in a minute.
Yeah.
Well, what's up, boy?
Hey, Ryan. Not tonight, man. Not tonight. Oh, yeah. You guys are right. Hey, come on. Let's go. Come in.
From humble beginnings and a handshake, a group of volunteers built a community. A community where we look out for one another. A community who provides guidance and confidence. That helps plan for your future. And supports you with whatever is important to you. This isn't just a credit union. It's Purdue Federal Credit Union, your trusted financial partner for life.
Ty Steinman and his 16 points, 4 threes. All those triples brought to you by Strachan Van Til, keeping P&W in it just when it looks like Springfield started to take control. Big shot.
It was 53-46. I was worried about that part of the game, but the Pride actually have picked up their defensive movement here a lot better the last 2 or 3 possessions. Everybody's moving their feet, and sometimes when you pick a team up early, that gets your feet going.
DeAndre Campbell just into the game. Might have got away with a walk with some pressure in the backcourts. Now 15 seconds to shoot here as he's got it back left wing. Esker sets the screen. Campbell wanted to get all the way, could not. Out here to Kunertz. Johnson over the top to Esker, was tipped. He couldn't handle it. Campbell gonna have to force it up. Draws iron somehow, and the rebound to Njai.
Very good defensive set. Again, the Pride's footwork now on defense has really improved the last few minutes. Nice.
A great take from Njai, getting to the left side of the bucket, lays it in. It's a 2-point game.
Boy, I like the energy of the Pride right now. Totally different looking team the last few minutes.
Campbell, Esker having some problems. This is not his strength. He's not as good at handling it as Weber is.
Absolutely. And with Weber out, man, the Pride got to take advantage of that.
Johnson fading. No. And they're going to get Evan Altman inside for holding on the back of Irvin, who was blocking him out nicely.
And nice closeout from Cooper on Johnson right there. He made him almost put it on the floor.
11:06 remaining in the game. P&W back within 2 as we step aside.
Hello again, everybody. This is Matt Maloney of the Matt Maloney Real Estate Group, powered by Keller Williams of Northwest Indiana. The region is a beautiful place to live, and I've soared to new heights to market your listing to the best and widest possible audience. Call me today at 219-301-0477 or visit mattmaloneyrealtor.com and let's get started. It's not Maloney, I'm Matt Maloney.
Doc's Smokehouse, located at 1420 Calumet Avenue in Dyer, is the place to go for the best Southern-style barbecue in Northwest Indiana. Choose from hickory smoked brisket, pork, ribs, sausage, turkey, chicken, and wings for your main plate. Or maybe pick a couple. Don't forget the sides: potato salad, Bacardi beans, collard greens, and mac and cheese to complement your meat choice. Visit docsbarbecue.net for more information on specials and restaurant hours.
Well, P&W doesn't have to come back as many points as the Vikings did. They won in overtime, 36-33, but Springfield's largest lead in this game was 10 points. They came back in the first half at the 4:02-minute remaining mark. So P&W has had to kind of keep clawing, and they've gotten back within 2.
And Coach Brock can't wait no longer. He's got Weber right back in now. He's seen enough. So he saw their offense starting to falter a little bit, so he got Weber back in. We'll see if the Pride can try to go at him a little bit and get that 4th foul on him.
Well, one thing, too, as I mentioned, Weber really had trouble handling it. And I think you talked about P&W's defense picking up. I think they kind of, a shark smells blood in the water at times, right? And if you see a guy who's not as comfortable, you feel like you can get up in him.
Absolutely. And that whole game changed when Weber went out. P&W picked up their defense, especially on the perimeter.
They've got the ball here with a chance to tie it or take the lead with a 3. Steinman has been the offensive star today. They flare it to him. Gets a look over Campbell, and Steinman is red hot. He puts him on top.
This is like an NBA game. You go to the hot guy and keep him going.
What a performance from Kai Steinman in the ballgame. Maybe his best as a member of Purdue Northwest. Another 3 brought to you by Strachan Van Til, his 5th of the game. Here's Campbell on the back down. They double. Open for 3 is Campbell. That was Weber. And Campbell trades the lead right back on top.
He was 4 for 14 on the season from 3. That was a big shot for them. They were really struggling.
2-point lead for Springfield now. Here's Zenjai. Thought about the drive, waits for things to clear out, now puts it on the deck. Waits, puts it in. Very deliberate on the Euro there. Maintained the balance, and we're tied at 58. Long way to go in this one. Still 10 minutes remaining. Campbell around the corner. He beats Steinman. No shots. He was fouled. The contact came at the free throw line, but that is the 7th team foul. And so DeAndre Campbell is going to shoot a 1-and-1. That's the first foul on Kai Steinman. Campbell deceiving, isn't he? He's quick.
He is quick. And he don't look 6'2" to me. Maybe it's because he's a wide-built kid, but he looks like he's about 6 foot.
Looks like he should have a hand down in the backfield ready to lead the way on a goal line to go situation as a fullback, doesn't he? He's a big guy.
This free throw situation could be critical in this game. Already got 17 fouls with.
Wipe that out, yeah.
Almost 10 minutes ago.
That is really something you don't see too often. Normally, if you're going to get violations, it's on the defense because they don't know the shooter's certain quirks as far as trying to time the release, and Evan Altman jumped into the lane for a free throw violation. P&W fortunate there. They've got the ball back here in the 58 all game, and now a whistle on Campbell, called for the reach-in. He didn't necessarily agree, as Dillon was about to get the basketball in the post-up.
Right now, with Weber with 3, Dillon really could really work hard in the post and score, because Weber's going to have to give a little bit. He's not going to want to pick that 4th up with almost 9.5 to go.
Dillon wanted to give it to Cooper, didn't have the option. Irvin now, 5 seconds. Michel going to have to go. Crosses, fires over Hanna. His 3 is good. It bounced all over the rim, popped up, and came right back down.
He can just flat out shoot the ball. That's something you can't teach. He's that good, boy. With that little fade he's got on that jump shot and being left-handed, it is tough to defend him.
P&W making some shots today. Campbell driving, and he hit Jefferson in the face a bit on the discard. And Brevin, I guess we're just going to play when he's holding his face. Officials letting Brevin Jefferson just hold his face. He obviously can't see. Why aren't we stopping play? He's not good. Here comes Cooper driving, basically playing 4-on-5. I'm not sure what I just witnessed. I mean, what are we doing here? But Michel's going to get to the free throw line. It worked out for P&W.
And it was a neutral situation there, so there was no problem stopping the game right there with the ball in that position.
I don't know if Brevin told the ref, I'm good, let's play, and he must have. Because he looked at Jefferson to make sure he was okay, and I think he asked him, so... I mean, he still really can't open his right eye. I don't know why sometimes you don't have to be a hero. If you can only see out of one eye, it's pretty tough to play basketball. That foul, by the way, went on Hanna. That's his 2nd, 4th team foul, so still a couple to give for Springfield as a team with 8:49 remaining. Cooper at the line here. He's made the first to put him up 62-60. Second one. And it's a 3-point lead. Inbounded here to Rice as P&W extends. Middle here is Hanna. Quickly the other way into 3-on-2 developing. Shot fake from Kunert. He's wide open trying to tie it. He's missed a couple of threes badly today. And they've been pretty open. Here comes Songale Njai. Great speed. And he draws a foul. And they'll say he was going to the rim too.
Going to the rim. Yeah, he's getting 2 here.
That foul will go on Kunert from the side.
Well, I tell you, the Pride's footwork, their energy level, these last 3 or 4 minutes is totally different basketball team right now. And you know, when things aren't going well sometimes, let your defense create your offense. And that's what I've seen a lot of in this second half.
Njai misses the first free throw attempt. He had been 7 of 10 in limited attempts so far this year. He's got a second one with 8:34 on the clock. And he splits the pair. P&W by 4. Looking to stop a 2-game losing streak here. One of their final non-conference matchups, at least here at home. We'll have one more on Monday. Weber with the ball for Springfield. Gives it off to Kunert. Around the outside all the way to the corner. It's a post-up for Weber working from the short corner. Spins baseline. Slips it underneath to Altman. Couldn't handle it. Dillon stripped it out of his hands.
Good help defense. They had the rim surrounded.
Comes Njai again. That's an offensive foul.
Yeah.
He's just going too fast. He had nothing there, and he leaned in with the shoulder.
And you don't want that to happen. Things are going real good right now offensively. You don't want to break the rhythm of your offensive movement right now.
Yeah, charge block call is definitely one of those. You know, they talk in the NFL about change momentum plays. Right after an interception, you're always trying to throw deep.
Right.
And block charge can be that on a much smaller scale in basketball. A big charge drawn defensively can lead to an offensive outburst. It's Michael Wright.
Doing a much better job on Rice this half, too, making him really work hard with the ball.
Throwing some size at him at times. He's only 5'9".
Make him work those legs for the late in the ball game.
Steps into a 3 here over Dillon. Good rebound by Michel Cooper. So Dillon out contesting the 3, so Michel underneath gets himself a rebound. He's got the basketball here. P&W working in the half court. Cooper dribbling to the right. Screen from Njai. Rolls it back out to him. Now on top for Dillon. Dribbles down. Wanted Njai on a back cut. Here's Jefferson on a back cut instead, all the way to the rim. So they wanted it on the right. They get Jefferson on the same side left. And that will prompt a timeout from Matt Brock. 66-60. P&W on top with just over 7 minutes to go.
It's easy to feel a sense of gratitude here in Indiana because there is a whole lot to be grateful for. Family and friends and enough calmness around you to really appreciate the simple things. I really just try to show gratitude by doing my part, working hard, being friendly and kind. I feel really lucky to live here.
The values that built Indiana are here in Strachan Van Til. We're Indiana's grocery store, and we're proud to be Indiana made.
Michelob Ultra, 2.6 carbs and 95 calories.
Seven minutes and 17 seconds left in the game. P&W has jumped out to a 66-60 lead. That's their biggest of the game. They have trailed for the most part, but a lot of good things happening in the recent minutes to grab the lead.
Remember, we talked about that 53-46 momentum part of the game, and now that's the Pride 20-7 since that point. And I thought that was a critical part of the game for the Pride right there.
And they've answered, but a long way to go still against a good team. trying to have an answer for this guy. Weber turning over the right shoulder, I should say, with the left hand, and he scores. Well, that time coincided with him on the bench, remember?
Exactly, and then they just came out of the timeout with a set play to get him involved.
Good save from Njai. Saved a pass from being a turnover, and then he spins and scores.
That's just a great athletic move there. He really, he just, that wasn't anything set. That was just a great athletic play.
Pass was supposed to go to the corner. I think that was Steinman standing there. It was tipped, and it came right to Njai, who scored it. Johnson inside to Weber. Opposite the table, spins to the baseline. Tried to dump off a pass. It's out of the hands of Hanna. Up ahead to Steinman. He's got no numbers, so he slows it down.
Good job by the Pride. Reset, take care of the basketball here. It's critical time of the game now.
Trying to trap here. Half-court trapping defense. Steinman again. Don't leave this guy. He can't be stopped. Kai Steinman, 6 threes. A career afternoon for Kai and counting. P&W all of a sudden up 9 points. Rice out of control. Throws up an air ball from the baseline. P&W a chance to build up a lead here. Dillon with the ball in the corner. Steinman again. Wouldn't do it, would he? You bet he would. 7 of them. Kai Steinman, all of them brought to you by Strachan Van Til. And right now he cannot be stopped, and Matt Brock has seen a double-digit lead completely disappear. And P&W right now leading by 12 as we step aside. Just keep it here, actually, excuse me, as there's only a 30-second timeout. 5:36 to play in this second half. And Kai Steinman, coach, some days, you plan for stuff. You don't plan for anybody to make 7 threes.
No, and then on the defensive end, you're going to say, well, the guy hit 3 or 4. Now, we're not going to let him have 7, after that point.
And they haven't been over a taller player with a hand in the face. He's been pretty open on a lot of them.
Oh yeah, they're not closing him out at all.
They have totally lost number 4 today.
That's like Tyler Hero from Miami. He had 19 threes in 2 games this week.
That's some guy's season. That's pretty crazy. P&W up 12. They go to Weber.
He's coming left as much as he can.
He's been trying to make really tight passes, though. And Matt Brock is going crazy. He's trying to say that was off of P&W last. And the officials say no dice. And nothing is going right now for the Prairie Stars here. They're looking for some answers. P&W trying to keep their foot right on the pedal now as we hit the 5-minute mark to go here. 74-62 Purdue Northwest. Mikel Cooper, 10 seconds to shoot now as they start. Goes right, baseline, driving. He stepped out of bounds. Yeah, 2 guys trailing him, so you like your chances on getting a good look there, but it's a turnover instead.
You know what else we haven't talked about? The Pride have shut Johnson down totally this half. Yes. He hasn't had an open look in so long. In the first half, he was knocking those shots down, and he's been literally taken out of this game.
Michael Wright, same. He has not had a good look. He had a couple threes earlier, remember? And
I like this pressure on Rice to take the ball out of his hands. That's been a good.
Hanna down the lane, goes up and under, almost made a 3-point play attempt here. The ball rolls off the rim, but the foul is on Njai, and Jack Weber will shoot 2. He's not a good free throw shooter. Only 8 of 17 on the season before today.
Such a huge game for the Pride to get themselves restarted here for conference play coming up. They have a game on Monday right back here.
They look good making that free throw, though. It's always funny when I see some of these guys, and it's not like, 4 for 9 or something. That could just be a small sample size. 8 for 17 kind of, you start to get 20 and 30 attempts, you start to realize what you are. But looked good on the first, made it. Second one also basically nothing but net. He makes them both there, and lead is 10. And Springfield now will extend the pressure themselves. Into Steinman, taken away. Hanna stripped him on the double team.
Bad pass there. He had his shooter coming.
Yeah, Wright was going to step into a three. Instead, they'll work offense now. All the way back around for Weber. Fakes the baseline, goes to the middle, draws the foul. And that will be on Alou Dillon. I believe that's his 4th personal. At the 4:26 mark, Weber going right back to the free throw line, and yes, that is number 4. And also the team's 10th. 2 free throws the rest of the way on any common foul for Springfield.
Yeah, they made that pass deep in the corner there and kind of pinned themselves and had the trap occur and turn the ball over.
If you're a guard there, Coach, and you get the ball like that and you know a double team's going, I mean, you got to try to make something happen quick, right?
Absolutely. You either have to leg whip to the other side, and if you get in a deep trap and you know your team's got timeouts to give, you can go ahead and take a timeout so you don't get a silly turnover, get the other team back in the game.
Anna made the first, but he misses the second. Good, strong rebound by Irvin.
Pride got to continue to get good shots here. We got a lot of time here with the three-point shot. We understand that with 4 minutes to go.
Jefferson, Irvin, Barnard working hard. He hasn't played a lot in the second half. Jefferson fakes the entry, now drives, waits, leans on Weber in a travel. SPNW turns it over here, and you can all of a sudden feel the hill of momentum starting to tilt back down in favor of Illinois Springfield. It was all PNW, and a big thanks to Kai Steinman for that. And right now the Stars here within 9. Rice swings it off for Wright. He's hit on a 3, and he will shoot 3 free throws.
I hate to let the opposing teams score without using the clock.
Final media timeout here with 3:52 remaining. 3 free throws for Michael Wright coming up in a 9-point game.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Kyle Dempsey in Hammond today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Dale Cooper started a program that is putting gardens in more than 50 local schools, helping kids get healthy food and learn where it comes from. People like Dale inspire us at NIPSCO, where we're transitioning from coal-powered generation to new lower-cost energy resources like wind and solar, making energy cleaner, reliable, and ultimately more affordable. Because like Dale, we're dedicated to leaving things better. Learn more about our Your Energy, Your Future plan at nipsco.com/future.
PNW holding a 9-point lead, but things starting to shift a bit as Michael Wright was hit on a 3. He's got a chance to bring this to a 2-possession game, and he's predictably a good free throw shooter, 8 of 9 on the young season, but PNW still going to have to score some more points. This is not a time where you can just hope to play defense and run the clock. You're going to need some more buckets.
Right, and I would like to see their out-of-bounds plays here, full court pressure. They got to break it. They got to get curls by Cooper to get the ball in Cooper's hands because he's got the speed to get the ball up the court. I don't want to see them enter those passes deep in the corners and just walk themselves into a trap.
Senior guard Michael Wright, as I said, 8 of 9, limited attempts. He's more of a shooter, as we've seen, and that's why Cooper was on him so tight. Just a bit too tight, though. And he got him on the wrist as he went to fire a 3. So Wright has 3 free throws here. Made a couple of 3s in the first half. Otherwise, he's been pretty quiet here.
Like I said at the end of the break there, you don't like to let your opponent score without the clock working, so this is an easy, if he makes this third one, that was 3 points they get without working too hard. Yep.
He makes all 3. So it's a 74-68 Pride lead, and they've had some trouble with the pressure here.
These entry passes are critical. That's the guy that's open, the guy that takes the ball out, and then you get a diagonal cutter somewhere on the floor.
Jefferson, as they gain the front court here with 20 seconds to shoot. In the corner, Weber trying to front Dillon. Around is Steinman. Now 10 to shoot as Mikel Cooper gets the basketball. Mikel driving on Johnson, turns the corner, gets to the rim and scores.
Yeah, Wright and Rice did not see the help there, and Cooper being left-handed went right to the left side.
There's Rice with the ball. Now 3:15 to go. On the bounce into Weber. Remember, Dillon's got 4 fouls. Went for the reach, and he's out.
Need a little help in there from that weak side, just enough to come down in there with that inside hand.
So Dillon is out of the game. And Boomer Roberts will take advantage of the 30 seconds that you get for yourself because of a 5th personal foul as a team, that is, to make a decision on who can come in. It's going to be Anthony Barnard, I believe, but he used that time to drop probably the next offensive set as Dillon is out of the game with 3:09 remaining. And a 1-and-1 here for, 2 shots guaranteed, double bonus for Jack Weber.
Yeah, the Pride need to figure where they want to bring the help on Weber when he starts that backup walk dribble move he has.
Weber not able to make the first, so starting to look like we understand the about 50% mark. He splits the pair. Lead is 7. Inbounded to Jefferson, and now back to Irvin.
That's the way they made it. They made a little adjustment there to make sure the guy taking the ball out comes back to the ball. So he's going to negate the trap right there.
And Cooper getting to the rim. Blocked, but a foul. As there was 3 dark blue jerseys around him, and the guilty party is Keith Johnson. And Cooper's so good at that crossover dribble. Next step is usually gains him 1 or 2 past the defender before they can recover.
He's got that motor, boy. You see him make a little step, and if he feels you're at the angle on him, any defender, he goes right to the basket.
And he short arms the first one. Michel, a pretty good free throw shooter, has seen his number dip a bit in the last few weeks, down to 78%. He's normally a guy in the mid-80s. He's got one more here. And he got that one to go. 77-69 PNW, 2:56 remaining. Jordan Rice with the ball here, the sophomore guard. Runs this show. Johnson, quick handoff, 3-0. That's an air ball as it goes out of bounds.
Boy, they've done a great job this half closing him out. It's just he's lost his confidence. Boy, the first half he had too much space, and then he went to the basket on a few moves. So right now the Pride did a heck of a job on Johnson here the second half.
Irvin, tough inbound here from a little bit near the corner. Jefferson comes all the way back to get it. They bring the pressure here. Jefferson gets it back from Irvin. Now they beat it, and we'll set things up.
Very good patience there. Moved the ball, got it up the floor, reset, worked the clock.
Cooper with it. Gets to the middle, goes right, draws a foul again. Too fast for Jacob Hanna to guard. And that is the 7th team foul, so a 1-and-1 coming from Michel Cooper with 2:22 to go. Big front end of a 1-and-1 here from Michel Cooper. This feels like where this game has developed with the time remaining. If PNW can make their free throws and not turn it over here in the backcourts, that is the recipe for success. And he misses the front end. Tipped out, though, fighting for it. Ball still loose in the corner. Steinman and Johnson kind of looked at each other. Who's going to pick it up? It was Johnson. Here comes Illinois Springfield. That was a walk gotten away with by Wright.
He definitely traveled there.
No call. And Illinois Springfield still with the ball. Here's Hanna for 3. Draws nothing, and a rebound by Irvin.
Shooter.
Illinois Springfield has lost their mind offensively. They've not taken a good shot in a while.
And AB was the key there. He was not going to let Weber have that ball. He fronted him, cut him in half, and there was no look to him from Hanna. And then he jacks up a bad shot.
Hand off here, Cooper all over Hanna. Crossing, gets the screen from Barnard. Elevates, fires a 3, and he hits. It's been Steinman all day, but when they need a closer, it's the same guy who started, Michel Cooper. And a timeout, 30-second TO taken by Boomer Roberts. You said it earlier, Coach, sometimes doesn't even matter how good defense you play.
Doesn't matter. Not when you can make shots like that. And he's got that little hitch in that shot, and then he can fade back on you. You don't see too many shooters that can fade back like that and make that shot under pressure.
A high level of difficulty, too. Going to your right as a left-handed shooter. You have to come back and get Reese squared up, but he drilled it.
I just like the way the Pride have locked down their defense here in the last second half of the second half here. They have really, we talked about it before, all of a sudden, all the footwork got a lot better on the defensive end. And AB had a very good set on the last possession. Springfield had the ball. He was not going to let Weber have the ball in the post.
Great performance we've talked about by Kai Steinman today, who has been, for the most part, the offense. 25 points, but Cooper with 18 behind that.
We might have to find one of his shots as a highlight here.
For real, that might have to be it. I think you're right.
Yeah, the game he's had.
And just all out of sorts.
Oh, yeah, great defense.
Turnover by Wright, who tried to whip it to Weber, who had left that position.
Had that little extra help in there. That's what Weber's had too much space today.
126 left, 80-69. P&W with the ball in the lead. Irvin, the inbounder, gets it into Cooper, dribbles to the middle, now goes sideline for Jefferson, able to dribble away from the double team, attacks the rim, draws a foul, and it rolls off. And he will head to the line, have to earn 2. And you know what? I'm pretty confident with 1:18 left as far as our play of the game. Don't think we'll have a bigger play. Chicago coach play of the game is that last 3 by Michel Cooper. Big-time shots. And hopefully the cherry on top of an afternoon victory here. Still some work to do at the line and taking care of the ball, though. As Brevin Jefferson steps to the free throw line, he's had a solid game today. He's not been all over the score sheet, but only his 3rd point, but he's got 3 assists. He's got a couple of rebounds mixed in there, too.
And he brought a little stability to the game on the ball handling, got him into good space coming down the floor.
He's played 28 minutes, so he'll be right around 30 at the end of this one. Makes the first free throw to push the lead to 12. He's got a second one here, and it's going to stay there. 12-point lead, 1:15 to go. Springfield with the ball. They're going to need some quick buckets. Rice trying to make that happen. Drove it right to the rim and lays it in. Didn't take much time there. P&W with the basketball. Steinman.
Good job by P&W. Get that ball in real quick.
And now an offensive foul. Steinman gave it up, and as he did, Michael Wright had stepped in front of him, and Steinman with a full head of steam ran right through him. .103 remaining here.
Nothing's easy in basketball, especially the way guys can get hot and fire the three-pointer in. You just can't get comfortable at all.
10-point lead. Rice goes around Steinman again. He'll just lay it right in. Not much time off the clock. 5 seconds. And don't forget, in college basketball, the clock does stop inside of a minute on makes. And Matt Brock will take a timeout here, so don't go anywhere yet.
That's a huge rule when you stop that clock inside a minute.
81-73 with 58 seconds left. So Matt Brock's out of timeouts. Boomer Roberts does have one in his back pocket should they need it. I mean, if you're Springfield, you really can't afford to let another 30 seconds tick off this clock. So you're going to have to either trap and get a quick steal, or you're going to have to foul right away.
Absolutely, they're going to have to make a decision right now. And obviously, they want to try to keep the ball out of Cooper's hands. So that's probably what they're discussing right now.
For P&W, you think about their free throw shooters as a team, they're 74%. Cooper, usually the most steady of the options. AB not far behind him. Irvin in limited attempts this year have been 5 of 6. Jefferson struggled early, remember.
Right.
He started off 1 of 5, but he's pretty much made every attempt since then. 6 of 11 on the season.
You got to stop the ball. You know, they just give Rice 2 coast-to-coast layups, and that should not happen. You want to start pushing those guards toward the corners when they come down the floor with the ball. Don't let them turn the corner.
Kai Steinman is the other guy on the floor. He's, as far as free throw shooting, 5 of 6 on the season. And he's had a pretty good stroke today from deep, so you'd have to think he'd be pretty confident if he gets to the line.
Let's see where they bring Cooper in here from some. There you go with a little curl cut. Boy, he traveled. Yeah, I thought he did. He made the right move with a curl, but he never put the ball on the floor.
And Yamani Sharif, who had just come in, is the guy who stepped in front, and Cooper didn't know he was there, and so he stuttered before there was any contact, and the travel's the right call.
That's why you've got to have that third guy on those entry passes on your out-of-bounds plays, and it looked like you went to one option there.
Kunert triggering the inbound corner. This is a three for Wright, and he is hit. Second time today shooting a three, and Michael Wright is fouled on the play. And he'll have 3 free throws. And the foul goes on Barnard. We'll get another look at it here. That's close. Right at the line. He's got all 3 of them. He makes the first. If he makes them both, it'll be a 5-point game. He had this already once about 5 minutes ago, and he made all 3. He's got the first 2. 81-75 with one more coming. Weber and Kunert are out. Sharif and Hanna are in defensively.
Yeah, they're going for total speed here now on the defense, and they're going to. There again, I'm sure the Pride want to get the ball in Cooper's hands. That's 6 for 6 on those two situations for Wright.
81-76, 54.9 on the game clock. Irvin gets it into Cooper. Michel back to Anthony.
He almost shuffled his foot there.
Irvin's in some trouble here. Gets it to Jefferson with a full head of steam. They get it across to Cooper. The lob at the rim. Barnard lays it in.
Great execute. Got the ball up the sideline. Brought the defender to him and threw the ball right over to AB for the layup.
Boomer Roberts, his final timeout. And it will be a full timeout. We will take our final break as well. PNW trying to hold on, leading 83-76.
He needs pants.
Got it.
Come on, let's go. Hustle.
Stroller.
Double stroller. Let's go.
Let's go. Come on.
Let's go.
I'm gonna throw up.
When you're traveling with 3 kids and pretty much everything they own,
Hi, guys. Welcome.
it matters where you stay. Hilton for the stay.
Biology major Adam Rich is on a first-name basis with his professors. Through these connections, he is already doing hands-on research, placing him a step ahead on his career path. At Purdue University Northwest, we call that powering onward. Students determined to succeed find a home at our 2 vibrant campuses in Hammond and Westville, offering 70 areas of study, NCAA Division II athletics, hundreds of student activities, and more. It's your turn to power onward. Learn more about Purdue Northwest at pnw.edu. That's pnw.edu.
44.1 remaining. Big bucket from Anthony Barnard and a good look from Cooper. And they lead 83-76. Springfield's going to have to go quick here. Both coaches out of timeouts now.
Yeah, they are. And they're.
Clock does stop on makes, though, don't forget.
Got to make sure they keep finding Johnson. Don't let him get open.
Here's Rice for 3.
Oh, boy, Rice for the point guard just comes in. He nails one. Now we got to make sure we get a situation here with the.
Rice has been the guy making shots into Cooper. Able to spin away from the double team. Back to Irvin. And he's tied up by Kunert. And Irvin will go to the free throw line. And he is got a 1-and-1. Big front end for Anthony Irvin with 31 seconds remaining.
Sometimes on your press breakers, like I've been saying, you need a diagonal cutter sometimes, not just to reverse the ball around the perimeter. You need that guy to make a delayed diagonal cut, and then you get him bringing the ball up with some momentum with the ball, and then you get the defense switching, and you get a layup on the backside.
Irvin's front end, he got it.
Pressure free throw right there. Huge.
Remember, Anthony had struggled a bit last year with the free throw stroke. In fact, there was a game late where he had a chance to put it away. Ultimately, he could not, and PNW lost in overtime. This is the second 5-point lead. Clock ticking now. Springfield with it. Got to go quick. Rice fakes. This will be Johnson. Pretty good look for 3. Back rim, no. Pops up high into the air. All over the floor. Weber's got it. Out to Rice. 19 seconds. Rice, 3. Front rim, no. Tipped back up by Wright.
I thought we had a flop down here.
And you did. You're right. That's going to go on Rice.
I think it's a flop on Rice. Yeah, exactly. That was a huge flop there.
Kai Steinman got to be careful. The official told him, hey, I got you, man. You just got to let the play. And he was getting after the referee to make sure they had it. Don't want to see a situation where Kai then picks up a technical or anything crazy like that. Here's one shot for Cooper on the flopping tech, and he makes it. 15 seconds left. P&W here just got to handle it now and make sure nothing crazy happens. Should be P&W basketball, too. What did we have off of it? Or is it Springfield ball out of bounds? Oh, he was, yes. Michael Wright on the rebounding attempt was hit. So he's going to shoot a couple of shots here. And the officials are at the monitor. I don't know if they're looking to see who got hit or who committed the foul. They might have forgot. A lot going on there.
Yeah, I think Wright should be the shooter.
Yeah, Wright's definitely the guy. It's just a matter of maybe they're looking at the clock, too, make sure the clock is correct. Right now, it's exactly 15 seconds. P&W trying to hold on here. Put this one away.
Imagine losing a game with a flop, though, late in the game.
Right.
You take a shot, you flop, and you're tied, and you lose the game on a technical foul on a flop. I mean, really, it's a.
It could happen. We've seen crazier things. There's no doubt about that. Officials still at the monitor trying to get everything right here. Looks like they've got it now. So we should see Wright at the free throw line with a chance at a couple of points here with the clock stopped, but technical fouls, a flopping call was a big one. So both teams that evened out. Both teams had one of those. As far as technicals are concerned, the difference right now is the Matt Brock technical, which looms a little bit large.
I think Johnson no, the ball out of bounds there.
Oh, they're going to say.
Okay.
That's very interesting. Oh, 21.9. Maybe they're going back to the flop, I guess. Either way, it's Springfield ball. They wanted to go to Wright, didn't have it. Weber's got it. Johnson, this is a really tough one. Over Steinman, drew the side rim, bouncing to the corner, and out of bounds. Good hustle by Michael Wright, but he couldn't quite get there.
I don't know if the clock started there. I'm not. Was it 15-3?
They reset it to 21.9.
Okay, I lost track. I didn't look back. Okay.
So about 6.5 ticked off there. So P&W up 6, unless they turn it over right in the backcourt for an easy bucket here in a good position. They get it to Steinman. Kai is trapped and fouled. And they will give that foul to Keith Johnson. And what a game for Kai Steinman today. So impressive, his performance. Career afternoon.
Is that the best game of his career here?
I got to think so, unless there was one on the road that I'm not remembering. He was so impressive today. 25 points, trying to punctuate that here. 7 threes and 4 free throws for Kai Steinman. Looking for point 26. He'll have 27 coming up next, hopefully.
And I know the Pride hit those big threes, but I thought their defense in the middle of that second half started to really pick up, and then all of a sudden they took Rice out of the game. They got in front of him, and they closed Johnson out, and those were some of the keys on the defensive end. They've missed a lot of second of these free throws today.
Here's Rice. 3, no. Weber, the rebound. 4 seconds. He turns, puts it in with 2.9. P&W basically just got to get it in. They do to Jefferson. He'll be fouled one last time with 1.8, and that is going to do it.
That will do it. Good comeback. Good. Like I said, I'm going to say it for the third time. I really liked their movement after that 53-46 part of the second half in the game.
Let's just name our Laborers 41 player of the game right now. It's got to be Kai Steinman, right? 26 points, 7 threes, 5 of 6 from the line.
Absolutely. Great game. And, of course, Cooper had a great game. But,
yes, he did.
But Kai's game was the difference today.
19 points for Michel. 3 guys in double figures. The other one was Ezekwesili, who didn't play a lot down the stretch, but he had some good minutes when it mattered at the buzzer here. One more from Hannah. Won't go. So your official final, 87-81. Great win here for PNW.
Absolutely, and defense and hit the threes and just had such better body language second half.
We'll be back with the head coach right after this.
This one is for every golfer who finally fixed their slice by replacing it with a hook. You've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar.
Think all superheroes wear capes? The ones we know wear name badges, aprons, visors, and even during long shifts, they wear smiles. These superheroes are you, our Strack and Van Til associates, and we appreciate all you do, from sanitizing stores, keeping shelves stocked, and providing safe access to food. And when you're asked to go beyond the call of duty, you deliver. You're the unsung superheroes of grocery shopping, and we want to sing your praises. Strack and Van Til is the heart of the neighborhood, and you are the heart and soul of Strack and Van Til.
Hey, I'm Alexa, and the little thing that I love about the Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit is the chicken itself. It is more than scrumptious. It is more than delicious. It is scrumptiddlyumptious. I know that's not a real word, but I love it.
87-81, the final here. We'll have the head coach, Boomer Roberts, coming up with us in just a moment. Great win for PNW. Again, recapping our Chicago coach play of the game was Michel Cooper's big three from the wing with about a minute and a half left. Our Labor's 41 player of the game is for sure Kai Steinman. He was so impressive today, and he gets credited with that. Also had a number of threes brought to you by Strack and Van Til. You can't thank that enough. Those folks enough. That's the right sponsorship to be when you're hitting threes like that. And there was plenty today, 12 of them today for PNW, who wins it 87-81. We got the head coach with us. Coach, congrats on the win. You guys played really well after the middle portion of that second half. Down the stretch with about 12 minutes left. Boom. What was the key?
Honestly, I think we played like we practiced, Sam. That's why I'm really proud of them. If the season ended today, Springfield is the 3 seed in the national tournament, in the dance, and they deserve it because they've been great. We just had a great week of practice. We finally could practice 3 days in a row, and even though it was finals week, you never really know what's going to happen, but we practiced well Wednesday, practiced well Thursday, practiced well Friday, and it just carried over. So that's a big thing. We got some more stops. We got some loose ball rebounds, and then we got to the paint a little bit more. I just thought our bigs handled it a little bit better, getting to the paint. Kel got downhill. And then this guy, I mean, what can you say about him? He just made big shot after big shot. And honestly, I don't even think those were the biggest plays. Kai boxed out. He had 3 huge box outs where the ball went out of bounds, including a post front that was really good. So I'm proud of him. I'm proud of our guys.
Well, you already just answered my follow-up question, so I'll take that from you, Coach. Go celebrate the win.
Not as good, baby. Come on.
We'll take Kai Steinman here, who's our Laborers 41 player of the game. Kai, congrats on the great game, man.
Thank you.
26 points, 7 threes. I mean, you've always been a guy who could shoot it pretty well from downtown, but today has got to be one of those career days, right?
Gotta be.
What do you think? What do you think went into this performance?
Man, I was really trying to find my role, find some open shots, get some good looks at the rim, see a couple go in before I get on the roll, and my teammates just been trusting me, and yeah, I've just been letting it go from open shots.
One thing, and we'll let you go real quick here to celebrate a W, as you got a couple non-conference games left. You guys had that weird schedule where it goes conference, non-conference, back to conference. What do you guys need to get right as we get back to conference play in the new year?
Yeah, we just need to start being more nasty, more physical, on the boards a lot, and just trusting each other. Yeah, I feel like our flow has been going. We've been having a lot of good practices, so just being more nasty and dominating the glass. I feel like we get those dubs easily.
All right, man. Congrats on the win. Great game today, okay?
Appreciate you.
Kai Steinman, our Laborers 41 player of the game. PNW wins it 87-81 for our entire crew under Ben Coates' direction. My partner, Hall of Fame coach Gary Hayes. I'm Sam Michael. Pride victory. Big one here this afternoon. We'll see you back here Monday for the women at 1 o'clock. This has been a presentation of college basketball on WJOB and JED TV.